Christmas. Let's talk about another Disney Christmas property today. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Truth be told, that is the perfect word to use to describe this movie because in many respects, I do kind of feel bad for it. This is one of the few movies I can definitely say is a bad film, but if you want me to tell the truth, it doesn't have that many bad things in it. But how is that possible? I mean, the acting is good, the music is good, the dancing is good. The story is a warped, but still basic telling of the Nutcracker story, which was already a very simple story, and let's face it, we've seen weirder adaptations. The visual style? Good lord, I don't think I've ever seen a movie try so hard to throw so many things at you. The way it's shot, the size of the sets, the colors, the movement, all the crazy-ass designs. So, what exactly doesn't work about this movie? Well, you might figure it out when I tell you the story. Claire is a young inventor who lives with her family minus her mother, because of course, she be dead. It looks like she left some gifts for everybody though, and she leaves a little metal egg for Claire that doesn't open up unless you have a certain key. Well, they go and visit her inventor uncle, played by Morgan Freeman, who thinks he might have the answer she's looking for if she just walks down this hallway. The hallway, of course, leads to a magical land that's very Narnia-esque at first, and then Alice in Wonderland-esque later, and then Terry Gilliam, Burton, pretty much a lot of stuff you've seen before. And it turns out her mother was a queen of this land, making her a princess. And only she is the metaphorical/literal key that can get this device going that can stop an incredible evil. So tell me this, did anything about what I just said sound interesting or new? Everything in terms of dialogue, story, characters, we've seen done a million times. But here's the thing, it's not done bad per se here. I mean, I've seen this story so many times and people say these lines so terribly and awkward and weird, and they don't really do that here. Truth be told, there's very few moments I can point to where I can say that's bad, that's terrible, that is just laughably horrendous. Throughout a good chunk, I was getting through it fine, but that's the key phrase, getting through it. Everything about this story sort of feels like a bunch of people got together and said, well, these Disney remakes are doing well, maybe we can do some sort of variation. We have Fantasia and the Nutcracker. We'll do kind of a nod here with a scene where there's like conducting and a ballet dancer, and won't ever go back to that again. Just go ahead and do the stuff we normally do, you know, somebody that lost a mother and has to go on a journey, and princesses, fairy tales, a moral about trusting yourself, you know the drill. And yeah, we do know the drill, so well that unless you add something really different or really provocative, it's just not gonna intrigue us anymore. That being said, I can't act like a ton of effort didn't go into this. I mean, look at it, just look at this world, or should I say these worlds. There's like different costumes and different creatures and characters, but it's also kind of overload because they're trying so many different styles that they all don't quite go together and it's just a little too cluttered. If there were really interesting characters with an interesting story and interesting dialogue, then this would all probably work out fine, and I wouldn't notice it as much. But because every line and every moment feels so stock, it does feel kind of manipulative. The directors of this movie were Lasse Hallström and Joe Johnston, two directors that have made constantly good films. Captain America is good, Chocolat is good, The Rocketeer is good. These are good movies, I'm not gonna say they're bad. But with few exceptions, none of them are really groundbreaking. You don't really hear people talking that much about them years later. Want proof? What's your favorite Captain America movie? Probably not one. But if you're like most people, you like it fine. This is almost a similar film. It's fine. I could see kids going in, watching it, and leaving, and that's that. They probably won't think that much about it, but you know, they'll sit down, they'll watch it. Does that mean it deserves a lot of hate? I personally don't think so. You can tell there was a passion to make this movie as good as it was, they just didn't really know how to do it. Everyone's giving 1,000,000%, but it's unlikely there was one person who this was their passion project. It feels like it was an idea that was passed down from Disney executives and given a lot of notes. Had it done something kind of like it was advertising, like maybe making it sort of a half ballet, half dialogue, half mime, I don't know, playing around with the formula a little bit, it might have been really interesting. As is though, it's incredibly standard. Not awful, just standard. I'm not gonna lie though, I could see some kids watching this at a young age and maybe going back to it years later and having some fond memories of it, because yeah, look at it, those really are some cool visuals and the acting's fine and it's a very basic story, but so is the original Nutcracker. But it's unlikely anyone's gonna look back and be like, wow, this was the lost masterpiece. This really did stuff different. This really had a dark edge or gave a point of view that nobody ever thought about before. It's just modern Disney doing modern Disney. And like I said, that's not horrible, just tired. But who knows, maybe I'm looking at another Christmas classic. I mean, you can never tell with some flicks. Whatever comes of this Christmas film, I certainly hope you have a fantastic Christmas, find a movie or special you always enjoy, and have yourself the merriest of holidays. Just avoid giant Hellamiran robots. Yeah, that was a thing.